hate when my hair doesn't do what it needs to do. Anyways.
Familiar, you're familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for the love on the last video, the subscribe people, and the likes, and the view, and all the support that I received when my video went live on New Year's Day. I appreciate it so much. My husband was the person who is behind the scenes editing, making sure I build the content and just stay true to myself. Because when I came up with the idea of a YouTube, he just, because I was all over the place. I just wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. He's like, stick to this. So I'll all credit goes to my husband. But this video today is about my mother and my father, who I truly adore and I love. And but it's just my video about my upbringing, being an Asian American daughter, growing up in East Los Angeles, and I was a twin. So my parents migrated over here from Vietnam in 1986. Again, I'm not good with numbers, so I'm not going to go with the years. So they move over here from Vietnam, come to California, got married, got kids. It was me and my twin sister. Growing up as um, daughter of my, of an Asian American household, they were very strict. I had to bring certain grades home. I had to act a certain way. I had to make sure, anybody you ask who has upbringing of Asian American culture, they all have very similarities, stories. So I'm not gonna really bore you guys with that. But the uniqueness of the that I felt in my transition moving from Cali to Georgia was because I grew up where my mom was strict with boys. She was strict with grades. I brought home B's and C, and the B was because I copied off my twin sister. She was in my class majority of the time, so she did her homework, and I just copied her answers. Sorry for all the teachers that is watching, if you're watching. So really, I was not really into school. I didn't have no desire to be in school. I didn't want it. But only went to because of the faith of my mom. My father was a very laid back man, very nonchalant, go with the flow, but he has that temper. If you piss him off, he will get there. My sister personality is very similar to my father, and I'm very similar to my mom, but we're different in many ways. Um, so growing up, my mom always expect us to be doctors, lawyers, all the big, you know, field that she wanted us to go into. So growing up with, my mom having expectation for me and my twin sister, my sister had fallen into the path of where she kind of like, she was a very obedient child. She was listening to my mother. She make sure she brought home good grades, and she make sure, everything was to the T with my sister. Julie's always been by the book. I'm the opposite when it comes to being in the household of being controlled. Um, or I would say more, I wouldn't say control, I would say more structure. I wasn't that child. So, and I also was in the junior varsity basketball team. So basketball to me was my outlet of life, where I felt like that was the only thing that I was really good at. I felt like that was the only thing that I could do in life, even though I didn't think that I would go into the lead or anything. But I felt like that was my passion because basketball was my favorite sport ever. Um, I did school. I did finish high school, but um, I got a wake up call when my economics teacher told me that if you do not pass this class with a certain percentage, you will not graduate from high school. So for me to get that news, I wasn't able to tell my mother, because how can you tell a mom that it was so strict with school to tell her, hey, I might not walk across the stage. Hey, mom, yeah, my twin sister is gonna go, but I'm not like that was no I cannot go around that. However, that did push me to the fullest limit to really study, to really do everything that I can to really pass that class. Even though I begged my sister, my please, I've been I've been asked my twin sister to, hey, can you go to the DMV to pretend that it's me and get, a driver license? So I was just lazy. I mean, there's no going around it. I was just lazy. Wasn't applying myself the way I wanted to, because I didn't care. Because especially when my parents kept telling me you need to do certain things, and I felt like I was keep failing them. So I'm like, why even try? I just didn't care. So after you know, you know, hours and days of studying, I finally passed my economics class with a B plus, with no help from my sister. I didn't copy off her. I was able to graduate it from high school and a good GPA, but it wasn't a good GPA where you can be considered to go to college. In California at the time, when I graduated, you had to have a certain GPA to even be considered into college because you had to maintain that. So let's just say my GPA wasn't the best because it wasn't. It was below what my mom wanted. My sister was a 3.0 student and I wasn't. So, I took a year off from school because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt like if I wasted my entire 3 years I was there for school, if I wasted their time, I don't want to waste another 4 years of college not knowing what kind of major I want to do, nothing. So I just felt like I took a year off. And my mom was not happy. She was very disappointed. Um, we fought a lot. And she was supportive, but she kept saying to me, "You need to go back to school. I know that's not what you want, but you can decide later." But I felt because I didn't want to waste anybody's time, tuition money, and just the drive, and I didn't even know what school I wanted to apply to. So that I'm like, why waste the time? So, and I didn't. So I literally just took a year off. I had two jobs. I was working at USC bookstore, and I was working also part time at Bath and Body Works, and love Bath and Body Works, one of the best job I ever had. So I worked those two jobs, kind of save money, trying to get a car. But the car situation never happened to me because again, I was a very lazy, undetermined human being. The person that I am today was not how I was when I was 20. Who is? Nobody. Everybody's different when you're like 20 versus now. It was very mature, and I have tendencies where I felt like you didn't get nowhere in life because you didn't apply yourself, and I truly didn't. So I was doing those odd jobs, and my sister was able to maintain her bachelor degree, graduate with honors. Very proud of her. Um, and then she went on for her master's degree shortly after, being pregnant with my first nephew. Me, I was just trying to figure out life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So, you know, my mom and myself fought a lot. We don't see eye to eye with a lot of things, as you guys know. My mom's currently in California. If you guys do know, mom is in California and I'm in Georgia now. So we do talk, but her personalities are very very different. Um, some days I cry. Some days I'm very blunt with my feelings with her. Some days I just shut down. It's been difficult, to know that I put my mom through what I put her through. Now that I'm a mother, I can imagine my son, and I'm sure he will do the things that I've done in the past because I wasn't a perfect child, and I wasn't listening. I was talking back, and typical teenager stuff. But the career path she wanted me to take, she wanted me to be a nurse, and medical is always something I wanted to do. But I didn't want to really put my focus because it was an ultimate that I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to go to class. I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to study. I didn't. I'm not those people that you can study overnight and you'll get it right away. I'm just not that person. So, growing up high school was difficult when you are living in East Los Angeles like that. And I think that's what makes it so difficult. That it was gang related. It was poverty. It was just so many things. So on top of me being very micromanaged by my mother, she just wanted me to succeed in life. She wanted me to excel. But then you're living in a poverty area where you have so many influences around you. It was very difficult because my sister was excelling in her career and here I am just mediocre because I didn't apply myself. And you see so many things around you, people getting pregnant at a young age. That's the one thing that my mom always asks us not to do is get pregnant before marriage. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but my mom just really, she felt like being pregnant so young and you don't even know what you want to do in life, it's gonna prolong you. So my mom was really strict about that. She did not let me have any boyfriends. Any boyfriend that I have, I literally would sneak through my phone, and guys cannot call me. Like I think one time a guy called my house, and my mom was like, "Don't you ever call my daughter?" And he was of age, but my mom was just like, "Don't." I had a guy come to my house for Valentine's Day, and he was nice to bring me like a flower and teddy bear, and she's just like, "Who the hell are you?" My mom is just she's in that sense where you don't want to f with her, and she's just not that mother. And you know, we didn't have all the things that materialistic things that we do need, but we did always have a roof over our head. We always have food on the table. We always have hot water. I never had to worry about in those essential things that we need in life. As far as I needed my mom to be there in my basketball game, she wasn't there because she was working all the time. So was my father. I needed her there when we had our first prom. She took pictures, but she wasn't there. Um, there's so many things that in life where I felt now as an adult and being a mom, she didn't necessarily did not want to be there. She just couldn't be there because she has obligation to take care of her kids. And I totally respect that for her because I would do the same for my son. Um, so I commend her. The resources she didn't have resources. She didn't have the help that she needed it from a lot of things. And my mom had to kind of learn to be a mom really quickly at a young age. And then, moving to California, and then, we're in the poverty area. Like I literally walked home from school with my sister, and there was shooting going around. There was gang related stuff, and people were just shooting in the street. That was like years ago. And then one of my good friend, my really good guy friend, was involved in that gang, and then we just and it was to me, mom. I told my mom those stories. She was just like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Like, it is what it is. We have to live where we live. But it was just so hard to get focused on anything because you're in that area and you feel like, will I ever get out of this area where I'm at? So over time, after me working, a couple jobs and then just saving up, or the lack of saving, I didn't know nothing about saving at that time. That's when I met my husband, and we met in 2006, shortly right after I finished high school. So there's another video that we would do Q&A with me and my husband, where we can elaborate how we met and how long we've been together and so forth. But um, yeah, it was difficult. I'm not excusing my behavior based on where I live, but it was difficult to feel like I have the light end of the tunnel because of where I live. And it was difficult because I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the help that I felt like our family needed, but we got what we needed. It, like a sense for food, drinks, clothes on our back, and hot water and hot, gas and all that. We had those essential things to live, um, but we didn't have resources where, like, okay, let's sit down to let's plan what you want to do. Until like years later, when I finally decided that I want to go back to school, my sister had mentioned to me, hey, this particular college will accept your GPA and will accept kind of like a training program they call Education Opportunity Program. Love that program. Um, is with Cal State Northridge, one of the best school ever. I met so many people, so many friends, so many mentors there. Like I felt like I defined me as a woman and as a human being since I went to that school. So when my sister mentioned about that program, I reached out to them and they looked at my GPA, my transcript, and I was at that borderline where they would accept. They literally would. They accept students who have the low GPA, low income, and let me help you to get into school. That's the main reason why I went to college, because of that program. Without that program, I wasn't able to be, Bachelor of Science of the way I am today. It's because of them I was able to go. So I love that program. Um, the person who created that program is no longer on earth, and but the person who's taking over and the people that is in the mentorship are phenomenal. If you guys live in Cali, you guys think about going to college, please look into them because they are phenomenal people to do so good to the community. So that really inspired me to do what I want to do now with my YouTube. It just kind of opened up my life and just kind of tell people my struggles. And I mean, everybody struggle what we struggle. And I just want you guys to know that it will get there. You just have to work really hard. You have to have strong people around you. You have to have people hold you accountable every day. Like my husband literally is in my ear every day when I'm messing up. Like, hey, you need to do this. Like you need to have a good support system. You need to have um, the right mind frame to accept those criticism. And sometimes it's hard to accept those criticism because you felt like I failed as a person, and you do not. I cried many nights, when I went to that school because I was leaving home with my mother. I didn't know if this was the right path for me, but I was so grateful that that program was able to mold me the person that I am and gave me the resources that I need to be confident to go into school. That's what the program is about. It's to give you the confidence and the tools that you need to succeed in a 4-year college. So that's exactly what they did. Now you could have went to junior college and I could have took that route too, but because coming from my background, my mother um, looked at USC and UC colleges, and Cal State to her wasn't big to her. Like, even though it was a great school, but my mom had such high expectation for me where I could not live up to that. And I just told her, if you want me to go to school, this is all I can do right now because of my GPA. She accepted it. She supported me the best she could, and mentally, support system. Um, Northridge had gave me the finance that I needed because they covered the books, they covered tuition. It's a great program. You guys should really look into it. But you know, living in poverty and having very limited resources, and parents coming from immigrate from China or Vietnam or wherever they migrated to, is not the end of your life. You can do something about it. It could be that you're at 30, you could be 40 years old, you could be 16. I don't think it matters the age. I think that if you have the drive and you have a great support system, and if you have a great um, mindset of what you want to do, or at least have an anchoring of what you want to do, you'll be fine. That's the purpose of my YouTube, where I want people to know just because of where you are from does not dictate where you are your outcome at all. Uh, I mean, I'm the prime example. People think that because where I'm from, I would never make anything of my life, and it's unfortunate that sometimes people can't come out of that area and make something of themselves. But I have a lot of friends and a lot of high school friends, and even to the friend that I'm to a friend to this day are great entrepreneurs. They are, some is in the army, some is moved to a different state, manager. Like, there's so many things. Moms. Now let me tell you something. Stay home moms, working mom, part time mom. It doesn't matter what title goes before the mom. You are a mom. And I feel like that's another video that I'm going to be doing about being a working mom, because it is difficult. But let me tell you, when I stay home with my son for a couple of days when we're on holidays or he's sick, it's an exhausting job where you don't get paid, you don't get recognition, and people look down on you because you're a stay-at-home mom. I'm a working mom, but I put, tip out my hat off to any stay-at-home mom because it is a full-time job. I work, and it is difficult because you don't see your kid all day long. You got to go home and do all these things, but being home all day, you don't get a break. I commend you guys for that. So this video is not about working mom yet. I'll get to that later, but I just want everybody to know that you can make something out of yourself. You can make something as little, big, how you want it. You create the life that you want. You're not going to always have the support that you deserve. You're not going to always have the recognition that you deserve. You're not going to have a support system that you deserve. You're not going to have a lot of things you don't deserve. Life don't owe you anything. It's what you make it. And that's when I knew, when I entered to that program, it's all on me, because my mom gave up on me. Everybody gave up on me to tell me, you know what, Jenny is not going to do anything. She's not going to go further. She's not going to be where Julie's at, because Julie's had her master's degree and she was pregnant. That was a very high standard to live up to. Somebody who had a kid and she got married and she got her master's degree, like, and she had a phenomenal GPA. She's such an inspiration. So if to me, if that doesn't motivate you, if this program does not motivate me, I'll be done for life. And I was so grateful that I had still have my husband around, because for that man, I wouldn't able to be the woman that I am, and to have a great support. Like, even when I felt like I didn't have support, he was always by my side. So I just say, like, your neighborhood does not dictate who you are. Your financial status does not dictate who you are. Your age does not dictate who you are. You have to just kind of figure out a plan, write them down, and make it happen. But you cannot use an excuse. And I was just kind of tired of that. That's why I just want to be very transparent, very authentic to you guys, because I don't want to keep having an excuse. Do I work a great job that pays me decent? I do. But do I wish I have an investment where I can have, income where I'm not have to worry? No, I don't. But that's what I'm doing now. So like I say, life is what you guys make it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video wasn't meant to be longer than it's more than 10 minutes, but I You guys subscribe, like, and please comment if you have any suggestion of what kind of videos you guys would like on this YouTube. I greatly appreciate you guys' support. Next time, guys.